You're listening to Factual America. You've already sort of touched on it, but I mean, what did he mean to jazz, and then what did he mean to music generally?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to describe, Miles and what he meant, just by kind of listing what he did,
Hmm.
because the first thing is that, he was an innovator with everything that he did, and also that he created, incredible music. It wasn't like, Miles just said, oh, let me do an album, with a huge orchestra, like, Philharmonic type orchestra, the music. That he did. But he did it, and he innovated, and just did great things. So Miles was in so many ways a leader,
Mm.
in jazz and in music. So many rock groups have really gotten so much out of his later albums, like Bitches Brew, etc.
Mm.
We actually hear from rock musicians, kind of thank us for the film, because they really got so much out of the film. I mean, he kind of invented the idea of jazz rock fusion. In the late '60s, when he just said, hey, I want to do something different.
Mm.
I think that it's really telling that his son tells us later in the film that Miles never had his own albums around the house.
Yep.
He didn't listen to his own music, because he was always ahead. He was on to the next thing, and just incorporating different sounds into his music. In one album, On the Corner, he has a tabla player and a sitar player. But again, it's not like, oh, let's do something different to do something different. It's like he really created something different, and a new style of music every time.
I think that was what I took away from it as well, was how he surrounded himself with this. Well, as you said, he didn't want to go back. I think whether in your film or I've heard otherwise, he didn't even listen to his old stuff sometimes or for years. But he surrounded himself with this amazing young talent. Each permutation of his career and next stage was just these amazing. I mean, what was it? One of the drummers was only 17, I think.
Yeah. I mean, so I mean, he launched so many careers.
Yeah.
Coltrane, uh, um, Cannonball Adderley early on.
Mm.
Later on, John McLaughlin. Tony Williams, the 17-year-old drummer. Keith Jarrett. Chick Corea. I mean, you
Yeah.
could go
Amazing. Yeah.
on and on and on with the people that he really launched, that launched out of his group. Now those people are great musicians, and so that
Yeah.
they may not have launched anyway, but the way that they did launch was by playing with Miles Davis.
And I can't remember his exact words, but he says something to the effect that one reason for that, he's just looking for, as you said, he was looking for excellent musicians, geniuses, some ways in their own right. And I mean, what do you think was the essence of Miles's genius?
I think that so many different things. I mean, I think that first of all, he loved music, and that for musicians and great musicians, music means something to them that it doesn't to most people. I mean, I like to listen to music, but I'm not obsessed.
Mm.
Just loved music and different kinds of music, and he loved change. That's just what he was. He was about constantly changing and developing, and trying new things. And he had a huge talent for finding great musicians, great young musicians, and playing with them. There's one line in the film from Miles where he says something like yeah, I play with young guys because I don't see what age has to do with it, right?
Yeah.
You either got it or you don't, and age has nothing to do
Yeah.
with it.
Um,
And so that was a big risk that he came out and just stepped forward so many different times. He really risked it. I mean, look, Kind of Blue was recorded in like 58, 59. And that was, again, the most popular jazz album ever made. It's been the most popular jazz album. Miles Davis could have spent the rest of his career touring and playing Kind of Blue. He
Yeah.
could have, okay, we're going to play Kind of Blue in order. Just the 5 or 6 tracks that are on Kind of Blue. We're just going to play it in order and over and over and over again. And he would have made zillions. But no, he didn't. He said, okay, I'll play some of the songs off of there for a little while, but then I'm gonna go on.
Yeah.
Go on and do something different.